Listen, the United States might be old and dusty celebrating its 250th birthday, which is such tea, but we are young and hot and free, and there's no reason that we shouldn't be living our best lives, right? Well, we are coming into one of the craziest periods of all time, like literally in modern history, at least from an astrological perspective. And this week, the plot gets very thick, like so thick you can barely cut it with a knife. And things really start to ramp up. What the hell does that even mean? Well, honey, I got a spill. Tea is served. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Aliza Kelly. I am your host and your spiritual friend, Aliza Kelly, and I am so glad that you're here. This is your weekly brew. I serve it to you hot and fresh every single Monday. You know where we're at. The theme of the week is The Plot Thickens. Dun, dun, dun. And the top 3 things you need to know are: number 1, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and money and values, is moving into Virgo. And that is a major shift in priorities. And it's really here to help us get clear on what actually deserves our time, energy, resources, and attention. Number 2, the sun is doing a lot, okay? The sun, which represents our identity, is first squaring Saturn, and then it is creating a cazimi with Mercury, which means the sun and Mercury are going to be at the same point in the sky. And this is the midpoint of our Mercury Retrograde. Yes, we're at the midpoint already. And this is going to help us find our voice and clarify our messages and really get honest about what we need and what we need to say. And then number 3, this week, we are entering a very, very powerful chapter in astrology. Frankly, perhaps in history. Over the next few weeks, the outer planets are going to be forming one of the most talked about configurations in modern astrology. It's an aspect pattern that's being referred to as a basket, which is predicted to kick off an entirely new era of civilization. It's giving paradigm shift. Is that tea? Fuck yes, it is. It is very hot tea. And this week, Neptune is taking our hand and escorting us into this new world. Whoa. Hello. If you are new here, my goodness, you found us right in the nick of time. How did you find us? And what's your name? And where do you live? And what's your social I'm kidding. I just want to know your sun, moon, and rising, diva. Feel free to share that personal tea in your 5-star review. 5-star, yes. I want to know what you love about astrology. I want to know what you are excited to hear on this show, what topics you want us to get into. Like, this is really built for us. This is for the community. And I just want to say, next week, which is crazy, is our sold out show at Joe's Pub in New York. Are you coming? Are you going to be there? If you are going to be there, make sure to dress up in a tea party outfit. We're gonna have a costume contest, and the winner is going to have a very important role in the show. So I wanna see your hats, I wanna see your little gloves, I wanna see those dresses, whatever makes you feel like a fabulous astrology, magical, witchy, Victorian era haunted diva, but also maybe from the 60s or 80s or 90s or Y2K. You do you. I'm just so excited to see you. I'm so excited to meet so many of you. I can't believe it's next Tuesday. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a very short break. Welcome, my beautiful community, to Astrology and your Monday Weekly Brew. It's me, Aliza, your host, your friend, and boy, oh boy, the theme of the week is The Plot Thickens. And not just because here in the good old US of A, America really served country this past weekend in turning 250 years old, which is conveniently exactly how long empires last. Okay, go off. Go off, truly. I am very intrigued to see what's going to happen, what this means, especially with the rest of July's astrology. Now, the plot is thickening because we are truly stepping into a new era. You may have already heard the astrologers whispering about these wild and rare configurations that are happening in July, which is right now. We are here in July. And these planets are going to start connecting in tremendously rare alignments. And it's going to all be unfolding in real time. And what's super cool is that as we sort of arrive at the central moment, which is next week and into the following, and that's also wild because I just happened to have my show at Joe's Pub during this time, and that was totally tank. There are no coincidences. But we're sort of seeing the epicenter of this as July 19th, because that is going to be when the planets are really exacting in their aspects. But we're ramping up. We are on a little ramp, and we're getting hoisted up this week. And this means that coming into the days ahead, we are going to start to connect some dots and see some patterns and feel the energetics pulling us forward. So honey, take a sip, okay? Take a seat and let me spill, will you? Because there's a lot we need to talk about. The first thing you need to know is that Venus, which is the planet of love and beauty and money and values and resources and first date expectations, is entering Virgo on Thursday, and it is going to shift our priorities in a big and major way. Now, for the past few weeks, Venus has been moving through Leo, really showering us with drama and theatrics, creative downloads, ego meltdowns. You know the vibe. It has really been a swirl of romance and glamour and confidence. And also, we learned when to roar, we learned when to meow, and we also learned when it was appropriate to bite someone's fucking head off. Teehee. But now Venus is moving into Virgo, and suddenly, we're getting serious. We're buttoning up. We're adults now, okay? We are paying attention to what actually works. We are paying attention to our schedule. We are doing calendar management. We are reading over emails fully and completely before jumping to conclusions. Yes, we are. Venus in Virgo is interested primarily in improvement and refinement and making sure that the things that are receiving our precious time and energy are actually capable of supporting us in return. So over the next few weeks, pay attention to where your priorities are shifting. What are you willing to invest in? What are you no longer willing to invest in? What are you no longer willing to tolerate? What actually deserves your energy? These questions matter because your priorities matter, and your priorities become your reality. And your life is built one priority at a time. That's tea. Now, I do want to mention that traditionally Venus struggles in Virgo, okay? It is considered to be in its fall in this placement because it is in its exaltation in Pisces, okay? And Pisces is the opposite sign of Virgo. So let's just talk about that for a second. I think that sometimes understanding why a planet thrives in a certain sign is an easier way for us to understand than why it has a difficult time somewhere. So let's talk about why Venus is in its exaltation in Pisces. Venus is love and values, and Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, is the water sign that is connected to the everythingness of existence. It's the past, it's the present, it's the future. It's everything in every realm of reality. So Venus, the planet of love, is exalted in Pisces because it really speaks to the spirit of divine love. It speaks to unconditional love. It speaks to love of everything, right? Pisces is the sign of spiritual and psychic wellness. So this is really a Venus that can tap into the expanse of devotional love, right? This is like love of God, love of faith, love of self, love of everyone and everything. It's hippie era Venus, okay? So Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces, which means that they are on the same axis. They ultimately want the same thing, but they have very different ways of arriving at the same destination. They both ultimately want to arrive at being of service and making the world a better place, making the world a more beautiful place. Pisces does this through this unconditional love in the sign of Venus, right? Unconditional divine devotion. And Virgo, an earth sign, does this through practical, hands-on support. Do you need a coat rack hung up? Virgo is on it. Do you need someone to proofread that email? Virgo is on it. Do you need someone to color code your closet? Hello, Virgo is on it. But when Venus, love, steps into Virgo, that desire to want to fix and improve also means that we are going to be attaching our love to the value of being worthy enough to receive it, right? Virgo wants to feel like they are earning that love. They want to prove the worthiness because that's how Virgo likes to help, right? Which means that, Venus in Virgo struggles with feeling like it needs to do something in order to get the love. You see what I mean? So on a bad day, this placement can sometimes make us feel critical or perfectionistic or more focused on what's not working than what is working. We are recognizing the flaws in ourselves, in our partner, in love itself, because there is this attention to detail on a very practical level of how can I fix it and make it better. But there is tremendous wisdom with Venus and Virgo, obviously. And if the sort of nitpicking qualities of Venus and Virgo can be kept at bay, which we have to do, then what we have access to with Venus and Virgo is the practical application of love. It's giving, put your money where your mouth is, okay? It's giving actions speak louder than words. It's giving acts of service, which is a love language, divas. It's giving, if you are not actually making my life easier, if you are stressing me out, then why the fuck are you in my life? And that's tea. So over the next few weeks, pay attention to those shifting priorities. Pay attention to where you are pouring out your energy, where you are getting it back, where you are fixing things that are broken, where you are fixing things that don't need to be fixed, okay? These are all of the things that we need to be tuning into in the weeks ahead because your priorities really matter. They really, really do. And you need to make sure that you are taking your values and your needs and your worth seriously. And yes, you are worthy, always. Okay, now the second thing you need to know is that the sun, our identity, is really picking up some steam this week, okay? A little steam engine. Is that a steam engine? Is that a truck? I just don't know. Now, on Monday, the sun is forming a square to Saturn, which is a reality check around our responsibilities and our accountability and our personal authority. It's very much the energy of like, okay, you're feeling disgruntled and antsy and underappreciated. What are you going to do about it? It's harsh, obviously, because Saturn, the taskmaster, the strict daddy, is involved. But 99.9% of the time, and that is a scientific number, this aspect, a square, a 90-degree angle, is actually the push we need to get things going. And then on Sunday, so at the very end of the week, we have the halfway point of Mercury Retrograde activated as the sun and Mercury smooch. They form a cazimi, that is a conjunction with the sun. It's a retrograde cazimi because Mercury is still going backwards. And this is an important moment when old information is going to come back around. Maybe our perspective is going to shift. Maybe things are going to start making sense. Maybe they're going to make no sense at all and we have to find the sense, right? Maybe we can finally embrace that crab walk and start moving sideways so that we can see a situation from a different perspective. You feel me? Because Mercury retrograde in Cancer is really about finding a new way to approach an emotional situation. We are going to be able to understand why we have been affected by something because we are going to be approaching it from a different angle. We are going to find a different way of articulating our sensitivities. We are going to recognize patterns that have probably existed for a very long time, but now we're seeing them from a different lens. And by the end of this journey of Mercury retrograde and all of the other July things that we're going to talk about in a moment, like you are going to be ready to confront the good, the bad, and the ugly, diva. You're actually going to have the courage to start speaking up and advocating for yourself and your truth. J'adore, because that's exactly what the doctor ordered right now. I'm the doctor. And then finally, let's talk about this July thing, okay? This bubbling and brewing July energy that is so tremendously wild. So this week, Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion, goes retrograde at 4 degrees of Aries. Now, outer planet retrogrades are not like, stop the presses, right? It's not like, whoa, hold on, this is crazy. because outer planets spend about half of their orbit retrograde. But this time, when it stations retrograde, it's stationing at the point, the degree that all of these planets are going to start popping off on throughout the month. And that point is 4 degrees. So look at your birth chart. Do you have any planets or points at exactly 4 degrees? No matter what sign they're in, if you have planets or points at 4 degrees, honey, buckle up, because they are going to get so activated over the next few weeks. Now, for everyone over the next few weeks, we are going to experience these incredibly rare connections. An aspect pattern called a basket that is being formed at 4 degrees of fire and air signs. Jupiter at 4 degrees of Leo, Uranus at 4 degrees of Gemini, Neptune at 4 degrees of Aries, Pluto at 4 degrees of Aquarius. This is crazy, cuckoo bananas, because we have these head honchos in astrology, these generational planets that take a very long time to move. So when they connect, it is very rare. And they're all connecting and they're all working together in a truly once in a lifetime sort of condition. Now, some astrologers are imagining that this is going to usher us into a real utopian future. Others, especially those on TikTok, are perhaps being a bit more alarmist about it. But I am excited. I'm in the first camp, because why the fuck not? I am obviously like an optimist at my core. I wouldn't be doing this shit if I wasn't. And I really do think this signals a new beginning. I think that this signals the big change that we have been hoping for. We have been in a very swampy world, my friends. For the past few decades, we have had a lot of planets in water and earth signs, okay? So a little motion, a little energy, a little heat, a little wind, a little air, a little passion, a little action. I'm excited to see what this looks like. And I do think it's so cool that this journey is kicking off by way of Neptune, which is dreams and fantasies and ideals and projections and belief systems, because Neptune at 4 degrees of Aries this week is really inviting us to imagine and re-examine what we believe in and why. We are being asked to look at the stories we've inherited, the narratives that we have just accepted as true, the assumptions we have adopted, taking us back through the journey that it has tracked since January. We are going to be thinking about identity and courage and autonomy, what it means for us to exist as we are, all of these Aries coded things. So we can start to think, what is this new belief system, right? We can start to think about, like, if July were to establish a new paradigm on a personal and collective level, like, what would that look like, right? We can start to use our imagination to create that reality, because, honey, in case you forgot, let me remind you, your soul is eternal, yes, but the trappings are a choice. This is your life. This is your consciousness. You get to make the rules. If you want to switch up your identity, switch it the fuck up, okay? It's dealer's choice. And of course, I have your journal prompt for the week ahead, and it is, this week, how can I make my self-worth a top priority? Let's head over to our tarot deck and see what she, her, the T, the number one, she, her, the T, the it girl, the IT girl, has to say about our week ahead. So if you're new here, hello, hi, how are you? Every week we pull a tarot card to see what the vibes are from a tarot perspective. And we love it because it just adds this like enhancement, this other archetype, this narrative that we can weave in effortlessly. Okay, here we go. Tarot, let us know. Tarot, tell us so. Okay, honeys, we got the 6 of Penties, 6 of Pentacles. Very interesting, this journey we have been on around like feeling abundant, feeling stressed, feeling like we have resources, feeling like we are not actually receiving the full scope of what we deserve. I mean, this is so tea. This is so tank. There are no coincidences for the week ahead when Venus, the planet of money and values and resources, moves into Virgo, which is so much about us perfecting and us figuring out how we are able to actually receive the type of appreciation and compensation that we know that we deserve. Now, the Six of Pentacles is a controversial card for me and maybe for you, because a lot of people read this card as something where like, oh, good, things are changing. We see, a changing of the guard. The Five of Pentacles is two people who are like truly in the worst situation of their life, left out in the cold, like broken down and wounded, dragging themselves through the snow. Here we have two people that are starting to actually be fed, hold on, by crumbs. By crumbs. Who has actually ever been fully satiated by way of crumbs? Who? Riddle me that. No one, right? So we have this figure in the Six of Pentacles who's like, here, I have something for you. They feel very high and mighty. They feel very much like virtue signaling in being able to like drop these little crumbs into the mouth of this beggar. But that's actually not going to change their life. So for me, when I see this card, I always want to remind us, like, just because you're being presented with an opportunity doesn't mean it's the best opportunity, doesn't mean it's the right opportunity, doesn't mean it's actually going to give you what you need. Pay attention to what your values are. Pay attention to what you are accepting. I'm not saying like don't do it. Sometimes we just need to pay our rent. But at the same time, just remember that like there's more out there for you. That's tea. Coming up, I have your horoscope for the week ahead, obviously. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after a very quick break. Welcome back, friends. It's time for your horoscope, okay? Two things. Listen for your sun and your rising, because together these are going to tell you a more comprehensive story about how the energy of the week is really going to show up for you. And number two, in astrology, you know that Aries is first, Pisces is last. I always go in zodiacal order. It's no problem. You got it, because we got timestamps, we got chapters, we got time codes. Pick your favorite synonym. Check out your sun, moon, and rising. Why not? And then also check out the placements of the people in your life. Like, figure out what's going on for everyone, because you're a detective. You're a supernatural detective. You're an astrologer. All right, let's do it. Let's do this thing. Hi there, Aries. So Venus in Virgo is coming for your work. It's coming for your health, your obligations, the systems that hold everything together. Wait, what systems? I know, that's the issue. Wait, before you roll your eyes, let me be clear. I am not here to lather you up in productivity hacks, okay? I'm not here to lecture you on what you should or should not be doing with your time. Me? I would never. Frankly, I could never. But also, because Venus in Virgo is much bigger than just, figuring out what time you wake up in the morning and what time you go to sleep at night. Aries, this fundamentally is about sustainability. You have been slowly, painfully learning that running on adrenaline alone is not a long-lasting strategy. Not for love, not for money, not for feeling good in your body. No. We make bad decisions when we are in that state of mind. We actually make Six of Pentacles decisions when we are operating from a very reactive place. Aries, I know that you are the adrenaline junkie, but you are running out of fumes and you are going to crash. But this week, hold on, Venus in Virgo is going to help you remember that your time is valuable and your thoughts are valuable and your health, honey, your body is valuable and you need to take care of it. You need to accept that you are worthy of love exactly as you are, and who's going to give it to you if you're not giving it to yourself? Enough chasing, enough playing games, enough trying to pretend that you are living a life that you want to live when really you are falling apart, period. This applies to whether you are navigating a romantic situation or a financial situation, or it's you really needing to figure out how you can boost your confidence and believe in yourself again. Take your time this week, Aries. Chew your food fully before swallowing it. Do some slower movements during a workout, okay? Not everything needs to be hit. This is your time. This is your health. This is the sacred expression of how you move through the world, right? Like your soul in your vessel, living, laughing, loving in the only life that you're ever going to live. So you better be treating your body like the temple it is, honey. It's really time to start taking better care of yourself. Hi, Taurus. Okay, so this week, Venus, your planetary ruler, is moving into Virgo. and that is a like-minded earth sign. So for you, it's nice. It's lighting up the area of your life linked to creativity and romance and pleasure, self-expression. Okay, Taurus, go off. You deserve it. With Venus razzle-dazzling you and sweeping you off your feet, it's also important to take a closer look at what your situation was coming into this moment. Did something shift? Did you have a breakthrough about what you want, about what you need? Have you been feeling like you were a little codependent and now finally you have a little more freedom? Did you come from a place of lack and now you're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready finally to shift into an abundant state of mind? Taurus, keep it up, honey. It's time to keep that forward motion. This week, you are going to finally feel prepared to choose with confidence and intention what actually lights you up and actually hold it close to your heart. Even if at first you're like, I'm not sure if this is going to work out, that's okay. I don't just mean like pursuing a crush. I also mean taking a risk in putting yourself in a situation or putting something out into the world that feels different than what you've done before. And it's okay if you're not sure how it's going to land. It's really okay, Taurus. This is an excellent week to experiment and give it a try because Venus in Virgo is nice to you. It's creating an inviting space where you can explore love and artistry and new opportunities without feeling like you need to have permission or reassurance or validation to actually get started. If your message gets left unread, that's okay, right? If nobody likes your post, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. This is a great week to try something new. It's a great week to shoot your shot. It's a great week because actually, honey, it is very spiritually sophisticated to take risks. And I know that that's not always your state of mind or something you feel comfortable doing. So when you have a green light from the universe like you do this week, give it a go. And then let me know what happens. Hello, Gemini. Okay, so Venus is moving into Virgo this week, and that's real baddie energy for you. And what do I mean by that? I mean that in every possible way. Because Venus, which is about your values and your worth and ultimately like your confidence, what you know you deserve, is moving into a sign that activates the roots, the foundation, your core, your nervous system, Gemini, your cortisol, your fight or flight responses. Honey, that is a lot. Gemini, don't be surprised if this week you realize that you need to change things up. You're looking around and you're like, I hate my room. I hate it here. And maybe, yeah, you need some new art on the walls. Maybe you need some fresh flowers, a fresh coat of paint, or maybe you need to look at new places to live. That's tea. Or maybe you realize that you are actually having a massive breakthrough around partnership. And maybe the type of people that you have been bringing into your life, whether that's romantic or even in terms of like professional collaborators or even friends, are actually coming from this unhealed childhood wound. Ooh, that's okay. If someone says something really triggering that makes you start spiraling and then your abandonment issues come rushing back into that frontal lobe, notice it. Because your awareness around what you are seeking is going to help you determine what you actually want, right? If it's coming from this unhealed place of needing to survive, or if it's coming from a more evolved, mature state of being. Gemini, with Venus moving into a new sign, you have options, okay? You get to decide what you want to tolerate, what you feel you want to spend your energy doing, what you need to feed, right? What you are feeding within yourself. You get to decide what you value, what you want, who you want. Your past may explain why you have made the decisions that you've made, right? Including the bad decisions, but it does not get to write your future. Only you can do that right now in the present. And this week marks a moment where you are actually going to have the insight that you need to start building your own life, right? Brick by brick, in your body, in your space, in your relationships, in your bank account. It's giving HGTV makeover, and we literally love to see it. Hello there, Cancer. It's still your birthday season, yes. But we do have some energy shifting around this week, and that, for you, is very intriguing. Venus, the planet of love and beauty and values, is scooting into Virgo. And you are going to start thinking about your relationships with the people that you spend the most time with. Wait, Cancer, do you have a crush on your friend? Of course you do. That is so Cancer coded. But actually, why do you have a crush on your friend? Let me guess, okay? Let me take a guess. It's because they get you. It's because they're nice to you. It's because they are interested in your thoughts and your ideas and your feelings. It's because you don't feel pressure to be someone that you are not when you are around them. Did I get that right? Now, whether or not this week for you is about you professing your feelings to your best friend, which I'm not sure you should do just yet, okay? The overarching message is about you identifying that being appreciated and valued for just simply being yourself is 100% the vibe. That should, in fact, be incorporated into every aspect of your life. That should be in your relationships, but also it should be in the ways you make money. It should be in the way that you are treated and received at your job, at work. It should be in the ways that your talents and gifts are acknowledged, how you are embraced by your friends and your siblings and your colleagues and your classmates. Everyone around you. Like Cancer, real talk, stop pushing so hard. You don't have to. You deserve love and respect for just being who you are with all of your quirks and cuckoo little crabby qualities. But to establish this new paradigm of respect in all aspects of life, you first need to serve that to yourself. You need to respect yourself. You need to recognize that you don't have to push so hard in order to get the love that you deserve. And I love that for you. Hello, Leo. Venus has been in your sign for the past few weeks. So cute, so gorgeous, so important. No wonder you have been so fired up about everything lately. But now Venus's journey continues and she's moving into Virgo. And that is a sign that for you buttons it all up and basically is like, okay, Leo, let's get you paid, which obviously je adore. We love to see that, especially in anticipation of your birthday season, which is touching down in just a few weeks. Leo, you have expensive taste. You need to have money, right? That's important. It's an important part of your identity, right? You deserve to have it, but you also need to have it. Let's take this a step further, though. You deserve to have stability. You deserve to have security. You deserve to feel solid in your life. Honey, you may realize that something that you once perceived as a safety net was actually a booby trap. And you have gotten all tangled up in the trappings of what you perceive to be safe. Because if you think about it, Leo, if you have been spending tons of hours working on something, working for someone who, yes, pays you, but also prevents you from building a future in pursuit of your greater passions and goals and focus, that's not actually sustainable because time is the most valuable resource. Or maybe it is, right? Like maybe you are willing to sacrifice your dreams right now. And I hate that. I never recommend anyone sacrificing their dreams, but hey, we all have bills we need to pay, especially now in the year of our Lord 2026, when a new corrupt trillionaire has just entered the villa. You know what I mean? And the wealth disparity is loud and proud and coming for us all. So yeah, I mean, we all have to make sacrifices. It's really giving like Six of Pentacles, right? It's accepting the crumbs because maybe you have to right now. You have to be fed. You have to have something in your stomach. There are some years where we do have to sacrifice, but Leo, remember that putting something on pause temporarily is not the same as walking away from it forever. So this week, consider what you are weighing right now. More Six of Pentacles. It's literally the scales, right? As in, what is the exchange rate? What's the time? What's the energy? What's the compensation? What's the sanity? If you can start to explore these topics from an almost clinical place, and what I mean by that is without shame, without judgment, without a huge emotional reaction, then you have a special opportunity this week to make a plan and to set yourself up for success in the weeks, in the months ahead, so that you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, and you feel like you are in control of your life. T. Hello, Virgo. Oh my goodness. Ooh la la. Do you know Venus, the goddess, the planet of love and beauty and values and money? Hello. Well, Venus is moving into your sign this week. Yes, she is. And we love Venus. She really is that bitch. But if we're being honest, Venus doesn't always love to be in your sign. Ugh, I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. And it's really because Virgo has a bit of a critical edge to it, right? You know it, you feel it. And that makes Venus feel like her wants and needs and desires are being a bit judged. But I don't know, maybe that's a personal issue for Venus to work out with her therapist. Maybe that's not your problem. It's not your problem because this week, your focus should be on making sure that you are living, laughing, and loving in the way that you want to be living, laughing, and loving, in a way that is truly authentic to you, period. Obviously, we know that you can refine and correct and adjust and optimize until the fucking cows come home. But right now, put that red pen down and just meet yourself wherever you are. What do you want, Virgo? What do you desire? And how can you infuse a little more love, a little more play, a little more celebration into your life? Now, I want to tell you a story, okay? I once met a woman who told me that she and her husband popped a bottle of champagne every single Sunday night to celebrate whatever their wins were for that week, right? That whole work week. And sure, it may be a little substance abuse coded. Maybe it was a cry for help, but if you swap it with kombucha, it's still the same sentiment, okay? How can you ritualize celebrating your wins? How can you choose to look at life through the lens of pleasure and create easy ceremonies and rituals that are in support and revelry of the small things, right? Like, why do we only have to celebrate at weddings and graduations or promotions or whatever? Why don't we celebrate every great, beautiful thing that happens to us? This is big, Virgo, because it is also small. This week, give yourself the opportunity to prioritize your individual magic. And what I mean by that is recognizing that like the tiny little manifestations that come to fruition, those are major. And when you acknowledge those and put those on a pedestal, it sends a message to the universe that you love when things work out in your favor, that you are worthy of abundance, that you want more of it because you light up when you receive it. You know what I mean? It's a gratitude practice because gratitude actually is the strongest tool for manifestation. So don't miss your chance to make this happen, okay? This is pure 100% Virgo goodness, okay? This is an organic blend, my friend. So sip to taste, because when you find that gratitude practice, when you really start celebrating your wins, you're gonna see that the wins get bigger and bigger and bigger. Hi, Libra. Okay, this is awkward. So your planetary ruler is Venus, that bitch, that diva, that goddess, truly. You have a wonderful relationship with Venus, obviously. But this week, Venus is moving into Virgo, and that means for you, it's actually activating a very strange, mysterious nook and cranny area of your psyche, some secret spots that contain some hidden stories, some dark fantasies. Now, Libra, this is a very bad week to fall in love with an unavailable person. I'm going to say that again, okay? Really tune in. This is a very bad week to fall in love with an unavailable person because you are going to be tempted to. And I know that you are going to want to, because I know that there's going to be something in you where you're like, I can fix them. Or maybe they can fix me. Ooh, tea. Or maybe they'll pick me. Or maybe I know that they can't pick me, but they want to pick me. Oh my goodness. Now, don't try to rope me into this, okay? This is not sexy. This is not hot. This is dangerous, it's destructive, and it's bad for your menti H. That's mental health. So I do not endorse it. What if, instead of trying to get a married person to pay attention to you, or try to get your ex-situationship to slip on slide into your DMs again, or I don't know, decide that you are going to create a life that is so secret and so toxic that no one would ever know what is up your sleeve. Maybe it doesn't even have to do with romance at all. Maybe it has to do with the weird other habits that you have been hiding. What if instead, Libra, you took a yoga class? What if you went for a walk? What if you talked to your therapist? What if you maybe scheduled an extra therapy session? Because no doubt there is a lot here, Libra. There is a lot to unpack. And all of those shadow intrigues are really actually quite revealing because they provide invaluable insight for you. They really can help you understand some of the pain points and unhealed spaces in your psyche. So yeah, they're gifts. You need to understand them. You need to know them, but you don't need to act on them. Treat those parts of you with reverence. Treat them with compassion. Treat them like the most delicate little fragile snow globe that was passed down to you from your great-great-grandmother. But do not act on these urges, Libra, because you will drop the snow globe. It will shatter into a million pieces. And then, I don't know, a curse may be unleashed or something like that. It's not good. Work on what you need to work on and try to make sure that you are not acting from an unhealed place, because there will be consequences if you do. Hi, Scorpio. It's time to think bigger, honey. Bigger. I mean, bigger. Bigger than that. Still bigger. Scorpio, who cares what's going on tomorrow? Who cares what's going on next week? I want to know your 5-year plan. I want to know what you want to be doing 5 years from now. I want to know what thoughts about you in 5 years light you up. I want to know what your goals are. I want to know what your goals are as they relate to your community, to your family, to your friends, to this better tomorrow that you want to be moving towards. It's really time for you to stop focusing on like these little weeds, right? Like, don't worry about them. It is time for you to really start thinking about the whole fucking garden, okay? And that's gorgeous. But if you have been just like hyper focused on this little area where things keep like popping up and you're like whack-a-mole with it, then honey, like you're really missing the bigger picture. Maybe you have been investing your time or your energy or your loyalty somewhere that once felt like it was in alignment, but lately it has been requiring too many compromises. Scorpio, this week, Venus is moving into Virgo, and you are really going to understand that prioritizing a better life for yourself is a value that you cannot compromise. It is not a sacrifice you are willing to make. So before you start adding more details and components and strategy into figuring out like how to deal with this immediate moment in front of you right now, I invite you to take a step back and maybe actually consider scaling back on some of the obligations that are making it difficult for you to think bigger. I'm specifically thinking, Scorpio, that if there is someone in your life who either directly or indirectly is afraid of your growth and afraid of you thinking bigger, maybe they don't want to lose you, maybe they're afraid that you are going to outgrow them, maybe they're afraid that you are going to surpass them. That's T. Well, maybe it's time to stop letting their fears dictate your potential. More T. If you're trying to build your life around someone else's limitations and blocks, honey, you are going to end up with a very strange structure. The planet of values, Venus, wants you, needs you to prioritize your values, Scorpio. And that is exactly what you need to be doing in the week ahead. Hi, Sagittarius. Okay, my little archer, centaur, fiery friend. Big things are on the horizon, baby, because Venus, the planet of love and money and values, is moving into the area of your chart that is very public, very loud, very visible, very in your face, very in my face. And that means that you are going to have a lot of attention on you. I mean, you always have a lot of attention on you, obviously. But now it's going to be the type of attention that actually can help you take things to the next level. Okay? Hello? All right? Honey, I get it. The Sagittarius dream is truly a quest. Okay? It's an epic. It's a meandering, magical odyssey. You are someone who isn't just thinking about putting one foot in front of the other. You're like, wow, I want to see everything. I want to explore every space and place that is available to me. I'm thinking about life on this like deeply philosophical, highly intellectual, very spiritual level. Like, what is my impact? What legacy am I building? What is the meaning of life? Is this the fullest expression of my artistry, of my creativity, of my intelligence, of my skills, of my talents? Sag, yes, this is why you are you. And this week, you have a chance to make sure that all of it is lining up. The thing is that you may need to do some of this in front of people. You know what I mean? You may need to actually bring people into the process. With Venus in this very visible area of your chart, this is not work that you are doing in your office, in your library, behind closed doors. No, this is something that you are also putting on display. And while you are stepping into this moment of visibility, that means that the stakes are also going to be higher than ever. And whether you are processing through a game-changing opportunity that just landed on your lap, or it's a new responsibility that is making you rethink your place or your role or whatever it is, Venus in Virgo is going to help you tap into what your values are as it relates to your success, like broadly. You may realize that you have actually outgrown certain components of your work, right? Maybe there's a part of your job that is just like not hitting anymore, or maybe it's the whole fucking industry that you're in and you're like, I'm done here. I don't want to be here anymore. And you need to work through that publicly. And that means that people are going to be aware of the risks that you're taking and then also the rewards that you're reaping. Sag, you work hard. You worked hard, you work hard, you will work hard, okay? Past, present, future. So don't question whether or not you deserve the life that you know that you should be living. Of course you deserve that life. So let's go get it. Hello, limber Capricorn. You have been stretching. Yes, maybe on that Pilates reformer, go off, you goat. But you also have been stretching intellectually and philosophically and professionally. You have been getting stretched, maybe too stretched. But that's okay. It's actually a good thing for anyone, but especially for you, because sometimes it doesn't always feel like you have the opportunity to really stretch out in the ways that you know you should be. You are like, this isn't a good time for that right now, so I'm just going to stay in my lane. I'm not going to risk it. I'll deal with it later. But you've been addressing it, right? Like you've actually been pushing yourself and challenging yourself. And as Venus moves into Virgo this week, Venus being the planet of values and money and resources, Virgo being a like-minded earth sign, you're going to realize that exploring new opportunities, new possibilities, new ideas, new stretchy stretches for you is not about dabbling. It's never been about dabbling. This is no Hobby Lobby, Capricorn. This is and has always been in pursuit of you building and establishing your authority, your credibility, your mastery. Come on. You're a Capricorn. Starting this week, you are going to gain access to something that you have actually been looking for, which is the ability to integrate all of your talents and skills and actually start putting them to use. Hello, it's giving professor, it's giving orator, it's giving public speaker, it's giving TED Talk. This week, you may be presented with an unexpected invitation to actually share your wisdom in a meaningful way, a platform moment, a little microphone. Or maybe you are dropping that energy into your day-to-day life in a more contained way, right? This is the moment that you start to share your thoughts and your ideas with your friends and your families and your colleagues, and they can actually understand what is on your mind, what you have been working towards, and they can see the vision. Don't overthink it, Capricorn, okay? You did not come this far to keep those ideas to yourself and to not actually share your wisdom with the world. You are here to claim your expertise. You are here to lead with conviction. You are here to actually step on a bigger stage in a bigger arena. Share what you know, Capricorn, and trust that you are qualified to speak on your own lived experience. You are qualified to speak on the wisdom that you have accrued. This is what matters, Capricorn, living life so that you can actually alchemize it into your legacy. That is a value, and that is your value, and it's going to pay off literally in dividends. Capricorn, we'd love to see it. Aquarius, not to pile on right now, but Venus, the planet of love and beauty and values, well, it's moving into Virgo. And that means that something is shifting in the ways in which you accept and receive love. And it's shifting because, honey, it's time. Listen. There are very uncomfortable truths that you need to acknowledge about your relationship with intimacy, about your relationship with love and sex and desire, and frankly, even money and resources and how you are tied up and tethered to others, not in a kinky way. With Venus being so active and so embodied, moving into Virgo, you are going to notice that things are starting to change. Maybe you're realizing that you need to renegotiate a contract, right? Or a partnership that you thought was going to work out suddenly falls flat on its face, or even someone that you thought would never, ever disappoint you somehow leaves you disappointed. And Aquarius, it's hard, but it's okay. There's no moral failings of this. Aquarius, this is just life. And life is learning how you exist and operate in these ever-changing conditions and circumstances that are always evolving around you and that we need to adapt in order to accommodate. This week asks that you address things that have been hard for you to discuss. And whether that is money or sex or loyalty or the emotional labor that you have been putting in, or even the ways that we recreate traumatic experiences from our past so that we can process them and understand them as adult people, which is T. All of this is an opportunity for you to really figure out what motivates you, what scares you, what drives you, and then whether or not that's something that you want to continue. Like, is it sustainable? Is it something that you want to bring into your life forevermore? Aquarius, there is this like deep core truth here around confidence. And with Venus moving into Virgo, the invitation on like a deeper spiritual level is for you to claim your autonomy, for you to set the terms of your life, for you to call out bullshit when you see it. And if there's something that you need to be doing differently, that's okay. Give yourself the time and patience and compassion that you need to grow and to learn and to heal. And by the end of Venus's journey through Virgo in just a few weeks, I can assure you, you are going to have learned a tremendous amount about what you actually care about. And there's nothing more important than understanding yourself. Hi, Pisces. Okay, so this week we have Venus, the planet of love and desire and money and values, moving into Virgo, your opposite sign. And for you, this is really revealing how important it is to stay present and actually know what the fuck is going on in your life, in all aspects of your life. This is a turning point in how you partner romantically, professionally, creatively, legally. You have been learning, sometimes the hard way, that chemistry alone cannot produce a contract, that promises cannot be made exclusively on potential. Oh, and also that empathy cannot replace accountability. I'm sorry to spill so much piping hot tea all over your mermaid tail, but this is what's on the table, baby. It's hot, okay? With Venus moving into Virgo, perhaps you are finally going to feel prepared to put your foot down, mermaid tail down, and formalize things, right? Formalize a relationship, negotiate the terms, or just, hey, walk away, peace. It's a shitty deal. It's giving 6 of Penties, okay? You don't need it. You don't want it. Listen, Pisces, if you are not getting something out of it that is actually going to enhance your life, why are you doing it at all? The point is, Pisces, that starting this week, you are not coming at this arrangement out of desperation anymore. You can't, you won't, you will not. You know what you have to offer. You know what you bring to the relationship, and now you know what you need in return. So fundamentally, Pisces, Venus in Virgo is a wake-up call that you need mutuality in all aspects of life. So choose partnerships that are actually going to make your life better, that are mutually beneficial. Pisces, say yes when you mean it, but also don't be afraid to say no when you mean it too. You're allowed to have a new perspective. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to want more. And that, my darling, is actually the way you move forward. And that, my friends, is all for this episode. What did you think? What did you love? Did your horoscope resonate? Are you excited for this week? How are you feeling about it? Let me know in the comments, okay? And be sure to join me on Wednesday for our tea party. And then I'll be back on Monday. Horoscopes, Wednesday, tea party, Monday, horoscopes, Wednesday, tea party, over and over and over again. I am so glad to be here with you, truly. And don't forget to rate 5 stars, review, follow, and subscribe so you never, ever, ever miss a brew. All right, see you soon.